Hi everybody, welcome to the live stream, cello live stream lesson. Today we're going to be continuing with the Suzuki book number 3, and we're going to be looking at the third piece, which is the Minuet. So, as always, let's first take a listen to how the piece goes with the accompaniment. Alright, ready? face this guy, but if we break it down into parts, I think you guys will manage. So let's take a look at the sheet music together. Oh, just give me 1 second. Something happened. There we go. Alright, so let's take a look at our sheet music. I have it all on one page. I think in the book it's separated, but you can follow along. So this piece is, I think this piece is really important in terms of this book, because it kind of deals with all the things that we've talked about in the past, from Suzuki book number 1 until book number 2. And then now we're basically just putting everything together into one piece. So that's one of the difficult things about this piece. But I'll show you that it's not too bad, actually. Alright, so let's just start from the beginning. And we're only going to play until here, the yellow phrase. So let's just start with the yellow phrase. So we're gonna start in second position. So as always, try and find the second position with the open string below, right? So this D, you can find that with the open D. If you're in tune, the note should kind of become 1. So that's the trick I use. So that first 16th note figure, da di da 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 da. So remember, try and feel all the 16th note, right? Da 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 da. So until there, everything's in the same position. So here, let's talk about rhythm. I think I'm gonna have to create a different line. Let's see. I guess brush style. Can I do dotted? So we're gonna turn rhythm into, let's do green. We'll do army green. So that'll be our rhythm line. So here the rhythm, that's gonna be 1 and, so this lasts for, so that's beat 2 and 3 and, right? Because we're in 3. So just remember that we don't play on the beat here. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So that's what we call syncopation, is when you play off the big beats, right? So you're only playing on the and. So and. So if I count the big beats, it's like 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So that's the rhythm that we're going to be doing, right? And here it's da 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 da. So try and feel the 8th notes. Feel, oh, let's write smaller. Feel the 8th note. So if you always feel the 8th note, you're gonna do fine, okay? Same thing here, right? In the and 3 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, like that. One, two, three. So rhythm is very important in this one. So try and follow along with the rhythmic figure, right? Let's do the yellow phrase once more from the beginning. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. So that's the main phrase. I made that highlighted because it's a phrase that we're going to repeat. So let's take a look at the next part. Next part, we start up bow. So, dotted eighth, remember you feel it the same way as dot. So try and fit 3 16th notes, right? Da 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 da. So let's try that one more time. That's up bow. We start up bow. Da 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 da. Extension, right? Here is extension. Extension. So that trill, we talked about trill in the last class, I believe. So here it would be B, between B and C sharp. So we're trilling on the B, so we try to trill with the note that's above. Yeah, just like that. So let's try all of that together. So it's the first half of the first section, right? The yellow section. So let's try all the yellow section together. All right, ready? 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and da 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 da. And then it repeats. All right, really good. So, if you don't know about the first and second repeat here, these guys, I made a video recently talking about that. Actually, I would highly recommend to watch that video because there's a lot of, it actually deals with all the things that that'll be here, such as da capo, fine, and things like that. First and second endings. So just watch that really quickly. It's very short. Come back, and then yeah. So this first part is not too difficult. Remember. Let's see. Let's write some reminders. So up bow. Oh, that's not an extension. First finger. Half step, that's an extension. That's an extension. Here, in the trill, I do from the top, from C, so I do 3 times. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3. grace notes, right? 2, 3. If you do it fast, or 2 if you can't move the fingers fast enough, 2 is fine. I think I do 3, but yeah, 2 or 3. Just a quick little embellishment there, right? If you have any questions, feel free to write in the chat, or also write in the comments if you're watching after the stream. And I'll try and get back to it. All right, let's continue. Let's look at the next color, which is purple. So purple starts from here, and then it ends till there. It's really easy, actually. Kind of. Just a reminder, this is a sharp. So, if we take a look at the first purple phrase, we start up bow, right? Once again, it's the dotted eighth note, dotted eighth note, which is 3/16 notes. So just feel 3/16, da 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 bum bum bum. And then the eighth notes, there's 2/16 notes, right? So da 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 da. So that's the rhythmic figure. So it goes like F. And we're always gonna be kind of playing A's all the time. A, D, and then extension here. So let me just draw that real quick. Oh. This is an extension. All right, let's try that one more time. So on 3, let's enter on 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and da 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 da. Sorry, I went on. So if we take a look at the next part, it's actually the same notes, so that's why I went on. So let's try that. Once again, 1 and 2 and D. That's it. Simple as that. If we take a look at it, the next part, so let me just quickly play the next part after that, right? And 3 and 4. So that phrase is actually the same as the first phrase we played, right? So I'm going to mark it with yellow because it's the same phrase. The only thing that changes here would be the very ending. And here I'm gonna just change into a different color. Let's do blue. So if we take a look at the blue phrase, it's actually the same thing as the other yellow phrase, only we do it a string lower. So we do it on D and G string instead of A and D string. So same fingering, same fingering patterns, all the different extensions and things like that. It's gonna be all the same. So 1 and 2 and would take it to back to here. So let's mark the purple one. So you go back, the first ending, you go back to the purple, purple repeat sign. And then the second time through, you're gonna take the second ending and then continue on to the trio section, which we'll talk about in a bit. Alright, so let's just play from the purple section, the entire purple section, right? I'm gonna call that the purple section, although there's other phrases sprinkled in there. So, purple section, we come in on the 3. 1 and 2 and da 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 da. So that's gonna be the first half, I'm gonna say. Not too difficult if you know all your positions. There's a lot of jumping back and forth between the second position. So try and practice the jumps in between. I would do maybe kind of practice sliding into the position, right? That motion's gonna be very important. Practice your extensions as well. Let me just write some reminders here. That is a sharp, and we do tempo. Sharp, remember that. Extension. All right. So that's the first half. Not too bad. Let's now take a look at the trio section here. The trio section, let's mark it green. So let's just play the very first line. Same thing, it's gonna, well, first line of trio, excuse me. The green line, first green line. So it's gonna go pretty simple. Dum, tiki, dum. This is our 8th note. Taka, 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 ta, ta, ti, dum, ti, ti, dum, ti, ti, dum, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, dum. So let's just try that. From trio, we come in on 3. 1 and 2 and. Until there. Let's take it one more time. Let's do it a little bit slower. 1 and 2 and da 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 dee dee da 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 dee da da dee dee da 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 dee 2 E and a 3 E and a 1 da dee 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 da. That's the rhythm, okay? Let's see, what should we talk about? Articulation. Try to keep the bow, give a little bit of space in between the notes. Don't play everything connected. Don't do that. That's what the dots mean, staccato. let's see. Be careful of the, so here. That string crossing on the A, that's a little bit tricky. Here it's string crossing on that is a little bit difficult. Here, loose bow grip. What do I mean by that? So here sometimes people kind of lock up their arm and move their entire arm. Don't do that. Try and use your hand, wrist, a little bit of forearm motion to kind of, that's the easiest way to play fast. So try and practice that just by itself. Just trying to get your wrist to be a little bit more flexible, right? Alright, so let's play the first string phrase one more time. Slowly. 1 and 2 and... Really good. Now let's take a look at the next string phrase, the next line. Oh. And let's mark the repeat. So from here, pretty easy. So it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and... Let's just do the second phrase coming from B. So let me zoom in right here, right? So from B, that measure 25. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1. Okay, so you can see the repeat goes back to the trio section, the green section, right? Let me just write that rhythmic figure real quick. While we're here. Alright, so let's try the green phrase all together, only once. We're not gonna do the repeat. Alright, so on the 3. 1 and 2 and... Really good. Okay, so next phrase, let's do a different color. We're gonna do dark blue. So dark blue is from here. Just be careful of the dynamics. Have we talked about dynamics before? I think I've mentioned it in class, but I don't think I should probably do a separate video on it. So Dynamics is basically just how loud you play. So pianissimo, when you see double P's, it means play as soft as possible, quiet as possible. The rhythm here is a little bit tricky. So it's 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you can see it's all about rhythm here. So the accompaniment part has dum 3 and 1. So keep an ear for that. So it starts like 3 and 1 and 3 and 1. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and da 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 dum bum bum. So that's how it sounds like. So if we go from the first blue line, it's like 3 and 1. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Second time, you can do harmonics. Harmonic on the D string. That's gonna give you a different color, and it's also gonna be softer but naturally. So yeah, give that a try. Same rhythm. 1, 2, 3 and 1. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. And then the last phrase. Let's do that one more time. The blue phrase, all of it together. I'm gonna be counting, half singing. So let's try it one more time. So I'm gonna count from full measure. 1, 2, 3 and 1. 2, 3 and 1. 2 and 3 and 1. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. 2 and 3 and 1. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Enter. All right, really good. So, final phrase. I guess we'll do a different shade of green. Or a different color altogether. Well, we haven't done orange, right? Ba, ba, ba. So this is all just one gigantic phrase. I would break it here. So, from the orange phrase, 3. Let's go slowly, note by note. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 2 and 3, 1. Let's just go until there, until just the first phrase, right? Same idea as the trio part, the green phrase. We just start slightly above on the B instead of on the G. So, same thing. 1 and on the 3 and. On until there. So nothing too difficult. Just apply the same thing I talked about in the green phrase. Loose wrist, loose fingers. Try not to lock up the arm like that. Articulation. Leaving space, right? The string crossing is a little bit of a problem there, but you'll get it. All right, let's try the second orange phrase. So it goes, the second orange phrase goes like this. 3 and 1. 1 and 2 and C natural and 1 and 2 and 3 and just like that. And it repeats to the blue repeat bar here. Let's just do the second orange phrase once more. So 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Yeah, there you go. All right. So let's try the blue-orange phrase once again. Just that all together, okay? Remember, we count the 3. That's what the accompaniment comes in with, right? So 1 and 2, 3 and 1, 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Harmonics. 3 and 1, dot, dot, 3 and 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be the trio section. And then you see this DC coda, right? If you remember from the video, it means da capo al fine, right? So da capo means go back all the way to the beginning. And then al fine means hasta el fine. Until the fine. So we're gonna play the trio, play through all the repeats. We're gonna play the blue-orange phrase twice, and then after the second time, we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning, right? But the second time, I'm just gonna remind you. No repeats. Too big. So when you do da capo, we're not going to play through all the repeats. We're not going to do repeats. We're going to take all the second endings. No repeats in da capo. Take second endings. Usually that's the case for any pieces that has da capo and repeats within it. Okay? All right. There's a lot of things happening in this piece, so just take your time learning the parts. If you have any trouble with any of the parts, try to isolate that phrase only. Just play like the little parts that's highlighted, right? So I think if you break down the piece into bite-sized bits, something that you're able to play. I think it becomes less daunting, less intimidating. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like picking apart a machine, right? A building or something like that. Trying to look at the blueprints of something. So yeah, take your time with it. Let's talk about dynamics a little bit. I'm going to make a video about it, but let's just quickly make a note here. Forte, piano. So this means piano, which means soft or quiet. F means forte, or it means strong or loud, right? So that's gonna be the basic idea about volumes, right? We play something softly, and on the opposite side of that, we play something loud, right? And then these N, S, things like that, these are mezzo forte, mezzo forte. It's kind of loud. Kinda loud. Mezzo piano. Would then mean kind of soft. I like to think mezzo, like the M, as medium, like medium loud, medium soft, right? Medium soft. So I like to think of it like that. And then we also saw double P, which means pianissimo. Pianissimo. Which means super soft, super quiet. And then on the opposite end, we have double F, which means fortissimo. Which means super loud. So that's gonna be our dynamics. Oh my god, that's horrible handwriting. I'm so sorry. Alright, so dynamics. So try and pay attention to all the different dynamic markings. That's gonna be the big part in this piece. The way you can do that here is more bow means more sound. And then vice versa, right? Less bow means less sound. So that's gonna be the key thing in this piece. So something to remember here is work on shift between first and second position. So that's gonna be one thing. Bow lightness flexibility. All right. So there's a lot of things going on in this piece, as you can tell, but take your time with it. Go through it slowly like how we did. I would divide the sections into the first half and then the trio half. And then it's a matter of just combining the two big parts, right? So, yeah, I think that's all the things I wanted to talk about in this piece. If you have any questions, feel free to write in the comments. Don't be shy. I'll try and answer it as clearly as possible. So just try and if you're struggling with any part, feel free to write the measure number and I'll try and help you out, okay? So let's just play through the piece once again with the accompaniment and then we'll call it a day, okay? All right, so let me get my accompaniment up. All right. Ready? Let's go. So that's gonna be it for the class today. Thanks for tuning in. And if, as always, if this helped at all, just give it a like. And if you want more, you can always subscribe as well. I'm going to be doing this every week. The stream time's gonna be changing in the next couple of few weeks. There's things happening in my life, so but I'll be still doing it on Mondays. So just keep in touch. Keep an eye out. Keep your ears perked, I guess, about all the different changes that's coming up. But let's keep on going, and yeah, happy practicing. Bye.